In the world of cycling, aerodynamics is king, and when it comes to aero bikes, every second saved counts. Which is why in today's video we're diving into what we think are the 5 best aero bikes in 2024 that are setting the standard for speed and performance. Now without further ado, let's dive in. First on the list we have the new Factor Ostro Vam. This beauty boasts major updates compared to the outgoing version and has seen major improvements in aerodynamics, weight and stiffness. In terms of aerodynamics, the development team of Factor focused on the front end of the bike and made their way to the back. Utilizing a method of rapid iteration and dynamic simulation, they were able to visualize airflow in 3D to determine the best combination of tube shapes. They landed on a true airfoil type profile, and I won't go into too much detail as to what specifically was changed, but everything from the fork, head tube, top tube, seat post and seat tube were all slimmed down, tapered and optimized to significantly reduce drag. And they managed to do all this while reducing the weight by 7% to hit that 6.8 kilo UCI weight limit and keep the stiffness the same. Factor claims that these changes save 7 watts at 48 kilometers per hour and that the bike is more aero than the SL8 and Cervelo S5. Then to further complement the aerodynamic frame, the Ostro Vam features, as mentioned before, a 15mm Aero seat post, Aero integrated bottle cages which works to redirect and attach airflow around the bottles and tubes, neutralizing drag, the new B-YT-ENG 48 and 58 wheel set which now weighs 1,250 grams, saving an extra 219 grams over the previous model, and have been optimized for 28mm wheels and real-world wind conditions. Lastly, it features the ABO2 Aero cockpit with fully integrated cable routing, which not only looks great but provides improved ergonomics and aerodynamics in the front end. All in all, a solid bike for the price, not only for sprinting but also climbing and grand fondos. Next up on the list we have the Canyon Aeroad. Featuring World Championship winning technology, this bike offers unparalleled speed and stability at an affordable price compared to other aero bikes, with the flagship model coming in at 9,499 euros, which with Dura-Ace Di2 group set, power meter and high quality frame is fantastic. The frame itself spent time in the wind tunnel, went through multiple CFD simulations and was developed in cooperation with Swisside, a company specializing in aerodynamics with roots in Formula 1. It features deep elongated truncated tube shapes, however slightly more slimmed down to the previous model to save some weight, that curved seat tube to protect the rear wheel from head-on wind and reduce drag, and seamless lines and transitions between frame and fork. In terms of components to further contribute towards the aerodynamics, it features a deep aerodynamic seat post, deep 62mm wheel set on majority of the Aeroads, and the revolutionary and highly adjustable one-piece fully integrated Aero cockpit. Most of the time one-piece cockpits are a pain as you can't simply swap out stems, etc. However, the cockpit from Canyon allows you to adjust the width by up to 40mm and the height by 15mm. It is also foldable for easier transport. Lastly, it has a great stiffness to weight ratio, providing solid power transfer, especially when sprinting out the saddle. However, weight-wise, it is not the lightest of the bunch due to the deeper tubes and wheels, with the flagship model coming in at 7.34 kilograms in size M with a Dura-Ace setup. Third on the list we have the Trek Madone. Now in the beginning I was not a fan of the look of this bike, but it has grown on me. This bike spent plenty of time in the wind tunnel, features fine details and was met with never before seen tech to make it faster, lighter and more comfortable. Trek claims that the SLR7 is 19 watts faster than the previous model, which translates to 60 seconds per hour when riding at 45 kilometers an hour, which is insane. And that it is approximately 300 grams lighter, weighing around 7.10 kilograms in size 54. They managed to do this by introducing their latest version of the camtail virtual foil tube shape, which significantly reduces drag. They also included a new one-piece cockpit which is aerodynamically optimized, especially in the back end of the stem, and the hoods have also been tilted inward about 3 centimeters, which not only improves comfort but also aerodynamics due to a smaller frontal surface area of the rider. However, the biggest update is the ISO Flow technology, which replaced the ISO Speed tech of the previous model. The ISO Flow tech was introduced to combat 3 critical points: weight, comfort and aerodynamics. As there is literally now a hole in the bike, and paired with the high quality 800 OCLV carbon material on the SLR version, Trek was able to shed a significant amount of weight. In terms of comfort, the ISOFlow also allows the cantilevered seat mast to considerably flex, and together with the thinned out top tube provide solid vertical compliance and comfort, all while maintaining a high level of lateral stiffness for power transfer. Then lastly, in terms of aerodynamics, the ISOFlow tech basically smoothens channels and accelerates turbulent air typically found in the front triangle and shoots it out the back end of the bike, reducing drag and increasing speed. Every detail on this bike works in perfect unison, and this bike is a true masterpiece of engineering. A list of top aero bikes cannot be complete without the beautiful and fast Cervelo S5. This bike has an extensive list of achievements, including taking the yellow jersey at last year's Tour de France. For this bike, Cervelo took complete advantage of UCI's new regulations to reduce drag. They have deepened and narrowed down the tube profiles, giving a more knackered tube shape, which is especially noticeable in the head tube, bottom bracket area and seat stays. This allows air to stay attached longer to the bike and reduce drag. The bike is also no longer available in mechanical, which allowed Cervelo to clean up the seat and chain stays. Then also very noticeable is how the frame closely hugs the wheel set and the tires, with the cutouts in the front and curved seat tube in the rear. This allows for smooth airflow transfer and air attachment between the frame and wheels. Speaking of wheels, the new Reserve 5263 wheel set was designed specifically for the S5 to complement the aerodynamic enhancements of the frame, saving 5 watts over the previous model, and are optimized for 28mm tires for less rolling resistance. Lastly, the cockpit. The V handlebar not only allows riders to find their most optimal and aggressive riding position, but also allows head-on wind to travel straight through and stick to the top tube. Although not the lightest, coming in at around 8 kilograms in size 54 or the cheapest, the Cervelo S5 is extremely fast, has great handling even though it has quite a short wheelbase, and is somewhat comfortable for an aero bike. The perfect bike to chase podiums. Last on our list, we have the Scott Foil RC, which is another beautiful looking bike in my opinion and boasts impressive numbers. Like the other bikes on this list, Scott took full advantage of UCI regulations. They chucked it in the wind tunnel and significantly deepened the tube profiles, smoothened the transitions and decreased the frontal area by hiring the forecrown and slimming down the handlebar to reduce drag and cut through wind. The thick head tube not only allows for full integration of cables, but according to Scott also acts as a fairing, splitting head-on wind, increasing streamlining and reducing drag. Interestingly, they also significantly drop the seat stays to increase comfort, as it allows the seat tube to flex more, but to also decrease air resistance and drag. They then also tilted them 10 degrees inward to force the air into the spinning spokes of the wheel to once again increase speed. Speaking of comfort, the new 2-piece Syncross seat post noticeably bends, filtering out bumps and vibrations from the road. The same goes for the handlebar. When riding in the drops, the handlebar stiffens for better power transfer, but when riding the hoods, it is more compliant, filtering out vibrations. All these changes and attention to fine details such as carbon layup components, etc. led to an increase in speed of 16 watts, translating to 1 minute and 18 seconds saved over a 45-kilometer course when going 45 kilometers an hour, 10% increase in comfort, and even with all the aero updates, 9% lighter than the outgoing model, which is very impressive. It tips the scales at 7.28 kilograms in size 54, which is not bad at all for an aero bike like this one, making it all in all a great bike for those looking for all-out speed on the flats and those breakaway situations, but also something that can tackle climbs with ease. Price-wise, not the cheapest, but it is great to see that there is a wide range of options available. And there you have it, the top 5 aero bikes that are pushing the boundaries of cycling performance and that are all-round fantastic bikes. Which one is your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more cycling content like this. And until next time, peace.